little cycle today has been postponed because of the weather.
I'm Margaret.
I'm Ian. We're just outside Moffat, which is a lovely town in the Scottish border area.
Well, it's very often wet in Scotland.
Well, we do find it rains in England as well. We have had a couple of good soakings when we've been out on our E20s.
I think we see ourselves as travellers. We like to travel.
We like to go lots of places. We like to try food, wine perhaps.
But the bikes have totally changed our holidays. I mean, we see and do so much more.
I mean, if you imagine if you're on foot or you've got a push bike and you're our kind of age, you're going to go 10 miles, and that's it. And that's as far as you'll manage because you want to get back again because in the afternoon you're tired. Whereas with the e-bike, we can go 20 odd miles out and we can plan to do basically wilder adventures.
Well, you love going out on the bike, don't you? You sit behind your daddy and I ride behind you so you know where everybody is. And we can go a long, long way and you don't have to walk.
Zoe is now on about her 4th bike carrier. She's had a basket on the front, she's had an enclosed thing on the back, and now she's got a little wicker basket with a cage on top, and she likes that a lot. But she stands up and watches the world go by when we're cycling along. And she's thoroughly happy in the back of the bike. She doesn't have to do any work, unlike when we walk. And also now, she's quite old. She's
12, yeah.
12 years
She's 12,
old,
so
she doesn't walk a long distance. So having the bike's great because she can come with us and we can go for miles and miles. It's still raining, but we can go out and see the camper van, see where the bikes live. Come this way. Welcome to Scotland. This is a Heimer car free. We've had it since 2019. It replaced a VW camper van, which didn't have a loo and a shower. And we've had lots of fun in it, taking it all over the place, all around Scotland, England and on the continent. Margaret, for some reason, decided on the paint colour for the van as the name for the van. So if you look at the registration, it says Lago Blue, which is lake blue, which is the actual paint colour. It's ideal for us. It's just 2 people in the van, bed in the back, room under the bed for the e-bikes. We've wanted to get e-bikes for over 2 years. We've looked at many and we eventually chose and we've been delighted with the choice.
she can be very lazy-ish, and if the weather's not great, then we make a makeshift cover over the top. And actually we used it when it was very, very sunny as well, a wee tablecloth over her basket so she didn't get sunburnt. But yes, she can be lazy, but she is getting old, so it's nice for her to get a wee ride on the back.
This is how Zoe travels with us. She's got a nice comfy little basket, a cage on the top just so she doesn't fall out. She stands up and goes forward watching the world go by. It clips on directly onto the bike through the mic adapter. She's perfectly happy travelling along in there on the back. I chose blue because I buy blue for everything because my team's Glasgow Rangers. Margaret is a girl, so she's got a sparkly pink, of course. When we first got the bikes, we obviously tried folding them fully and packing them into the van, and that worked fine. But we realised quite quickly that we could just fold the handlebars down, put the saddle down a little bit, and the bikes would just slot straight in, so it's much less work. We also fold the pedals up, so it's much, much easier to get them on the road if you've got that few seconds less of opening them up and clamping it. The thing about us is we don't like taking the van out. We like to park the van in one place and then go from there to wherever we're going. So we have to have the bikes to get other places. We just don't want to pack everything up and have to travel about in the van. So we needed the bikes to be able to go a long distance from the van. So it does mean that we can do the holidays we want without any restriction and without having to tow a smart car on the back, which many people do. It's basically made our holidays so much more expansive. When we bought the e-bikes, we decided to put solar on the van. So we added a second leisure battery. So we've now got 2 leisure batteries that are fed by 180 watts of solar on the roof, and that gives us more than enough power to be able to charge the bikes in the time that we have between journeys. This is the 12-volt charger, and it gives us a charging point here. The benefit of this is that it can reach the bikes at night under here, and it can also reach the bikes during the day outside. I charge about every 3 days. If we're on a holiday and we're cycling all day, Margaret likes to cycle. She doesn't use her engine at all. You don't hear that little hum. So I reckon in almost a year of cycling, she's charged less than 10 times because she doesn't feel the need. She wants to get the exercise. So do I, but my knees want to stay in one piece, so I use the motor as well.
And you have the dog on the back.
And I've got the dog.
There's a lot of weight in her. You found them online, didn't you?
Yeah, we obviously were not intending to buy a bike sight unseen. We wouldn't buy it online, pay the money and hope. So we had to go and see a bike. We've been quite far afield and we came across eVenture and decided to go down there because it was a lovely little town anyway that we hadn't explored, and we knew they had demos of the bikes. So we went down, we took our camper van. They were very kind and let us put their bike in the van to see that it fitted in. We did a proper test ride, not a round a car park test ride, a proper test ride up hills and so on. So that was very good.
That was one of the things I really wanted to do, was try it on a hill, see how I managed and how the bike managed.
It's always a surprise when you think, will this go up a hill, and you go up a really big hill, and it does. So really quite good. And that's how we eventually came to the estarli E20, because we needed a light bike because we're getting on in years and we need to be able to lift it all the time. And we needed something that we could fit into the lifestyle. And the 2 primary things we're doing are going on holiday with a camper van and just going to the local town.
I didn't know what it would feel like, given that I'm quite small, because I'm only 5 foot. So I wanted to know if it was comfortable, you know, because you can't tell that from just seeing somebody else ride it. So that was one of the other advantages of being able to go to eVenture. I had a Dutch bike before, so I quite like the handlebars high, which obviously you can do. But for me, the seat post had to be low enough that I could get my feet down. And it's perfect. And
we also adjust the saddles so that Margaret's saddle's much further forward than my saddle, which is fine, except when you want to go on her bike and you discover it's too small for you. Vastly better than the smaller wheel size on the Brompton. It doesn't feel different from a bigger bike. It's also a smaller wheel, and you have to get used to riding it, but you don't find that you're wobbling about everywhere as you would do if you tried a smaller wheel bike like the Brompton.
But I find the bike to be very light. I find it really easy to cycle. It's lighter than my old push bike, which was a very light modern bike.
We've ridden on everything really except extreme. We wouldn't go on an extreme forest track, but we've been on definitely dirt paths. We've been on several cycleways, some of which are up and down.
Or just gravel as well.
Gravel, which it works on fine. Lots of cycleways that are made for bikes as well, especially in the continent. They've got some lovely surfaces. We went to Copenhagen.
Yes, we had a lovely time in Copenhagen. We parked in a campsite about 5 miles outside, so we cycled in each day and back again. And saw the sights, and we saw the Little Mermaid, which we weren't intending to go and see, but because we were cycling around everywhere, we just came across her. It would be much harder on foot to see as much as you can see on bikes. I mean, a lot of these cities are really quite big, so you get the experience of cycling in and all the things that are on the outskirts, as well as cycling round town. And even if some of the old cities, you're not allowed to take your bikes right into the centre, but you just lock it up and go on foot. and then come back to it and go somewhere else. And we found in Copenhagen, obviously there's lots of canals, so we were able to get about to places that we would never have walked to because, you know, it would just have taken too long.